What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So a little bit of news today, though, for me and probably a lot of you guys with a Claw 8 or 7 AI Plus is probably kind of old news. But Intel's just putting out this article today on April 29th, and a few other places have covered this as well. The performance update for the Intel Arc 140V and 130V built-in GPUs, and more specifically for the MSI Claw 8 and 7 AI Plus models with the manual 17-watt profile. They did a lot of work on a driver that officially came out on April 8th, a couple of weeks ago, that really improved the frame times and in some cases the performance or FPS of some of the games and just overall smoother gameplay. So this really was something that made a big difference. And I actually covered this driver update a couple of weeks ago in a video and compared it and showed the performance increase and the better frame times and smoother gameplay in a few games. So if you're someone who goes ahead and updates the drivers directly from Intel on your MSI Claw 8, you've already been enjoying these improvements. If you're someone who waits for the MSI Center updates to come, well, this update is now available in the MSI Center, or should be if you go there and check for your updates, and then you can install it from there. So if you're not already running this driver, you're waiting for the MSI Center update, check there because you're definitely going to be want to be running this newer 3.4 driver from Intel. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go through the article here from Intel, even though we kind of knew about a lot of this already and have been testing it for a couple of weeks. I want to see what they're saying here. And for those of you who didn't already know about this, we can see what Intel has to say. So performance update for Intel Arc 140V and 130V built-in GPU. All right, so as part of our continuous platform optimizations, we're rolling out a power management update that improves gaming performance for Intel Core Ultra 200V systems, codenamed Lunar Lake, with built-in Intel Arc 140V and 130V GPUs. This update's delivered through the graphics driver, and its performance benefits are observed primarily at or under the common default power level of 17 watts. This update, as I had covered before, really concentrates on the lower TDP performance and frame times and really steadying everything out. And they actually really did a great job with it. In the testing this update in 9 games on the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus and the manual 17-watt profile, players can expect higher average GPU frequency and improved frame pacing, which translates to significant uplifts in not only average FPS, but also 1% lows. What this all means is that we're improving not only performance, but also smoothness for a great gaming experience. And that is one of the big things, especially at the lower profile. It's not just all about your actual frame rate, it's about your frame times and the frame pacing and how that really affects how a game can feel, really kind of regardless of the frame rate sometimes. That's what you really need locked in. So this update did a great job, and we'll take a quick look at some of the comparison stuff I did in the past video, how this was working. But yeah, they did a great job at that 17-watt mode, really reining it in and balancing that out and getting a much smoother gameplay, and in a lot of cases more FPS as well with the update. This update is now available for the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus and MSI Claw 7 AI Plus on Intel graphics drivers 32.0.101.6734 and newer, and will be enabled for other Intel Core Ultra 200V systems over the coming months following validation. So this update, just because maybe you might be on like a laptop or some other device, may or may not necessarily activate those kind of changes for you. This driver update and these performance lifts and that kind of thing were really geared toward the handheld this time and toward the MSI Claw 8 and 7 AI Plus. So I know they're rolling out more and more support for this better power management and that type of thing to more of these chips. So you got to kind of look at what you're using, and just because this is out for the Claw series doesn't necessarily mean that it will be for anything else just yet. So yeah, currently we are on the 6739 as the latest. The last certified driver was 6737, and this had the Oblivion and Expedition 33 support in it. This is the one I'm currently running on my MSI Claw 8 AI Plus. And then the 6734 here is the one they're referring to that's now officially available in MSI Center. This one came out April 8th. That's when I worked on my video and tested this out. And if we scroll down here, this is where they had the power management optimization for Intel Core Ultra 200V series, handheld gaming devices for improved performance. So this was very specific for the MSI Claw 8 and 7 AI Plus even a couple of weeks ago when I had covered this originally. If we just take a quick look at the video I put up covering the older driver to the new 6734 that they're referring to here, you could see plenty of places here like in Cyberpunk and other games where overall frame rate was usually better, in some cases more than others, but more importantly, you could tell the frame time difference and just how much smoother the gameplay was. And that makes a huge difference, even sometimes more than just getting more frame rate in the game. And overall, we gained a couple of FPS here, and in some cases, it was 3 to 5 or more in gameplay. But you can see here, even in live gameplay, open world, just a smoother overall, better experience. You can see the difference in the clocks that they had. Things were kind of bouncing everywhere, and just kind of the usage of everything there. But yeah, they did a better job of just balancing this out. Let me go forward a little bit to something Forza. Now, our Forza Horizon 5 benchmark. Now, we didn't always get more FPS. Sometimes we did, and sometimes we didn't. But man, the frame times and just the smoothness and the frame pacing was so much better at the 17 watts with this newer driver that they have out now. And if we go ahead and go quicker to the end of this thing, you'll see how much cleaner the game was. So we were same FPS in this particular game with the newer driver, but you can see how much cleaner the frame pacing and everything was there for that. And those lows, we only had this one little guy over here. So yeah, much better, even if we didn't see a big FPS change there in that one. And something like Shadow of the Tomb Raider that we had over here, this side was 17 watts. And again, we had a big difference here. Not so much in the performance or FPS. Sometimes it would even be a little lower, but most of the time it was smoother and a little bit better. You can see here as we're kind of loading in that change and difference there. 30 watts, we never really had too much of a problem. I had this over here in the video, but yeah, that 17 watts was definitely a good bit cleaner there. There's another area here. If we go forward, that'll show it as we load. Yeah, this spot right here is we're kind of loading in around here, what stayed much, much cleaner on the new driver versus this kind of frame pacing and stuff up here. So yeah, that's really the big change with this, is really not just always more FPS, which we do see in a lot of games, but also that just frame pacing and the smoothness of the gameplay being a big deal for us there. So yeah, it's just like I said a couple of weeks ago when I tested that driver and saw how big of a difference it was starting to make in a lot of the games I was testing. I'm happy to see their continuous improvement with this. Them just coming out with this news now is because it's just now hitting MSI Center for the MSI Claw 8 and 7 here, or AI pluses, and coming to other devices later. So if they would have put this out a couple of weeks ago, April 8th, when the driver originally dropped and I was testing it, it wouldn't have been an MSI Center yet, and a lot of people wait for that. So yeah, there you go. It should be officially available now. And if you haven't already updated this driver, I highly recommend it. It is a much better, much more stable driver. And if you're someone who games more at the 17 watt manual, or maybe even the AI Plus or something, and if you're someone who really games more at like that 17 watt manual mode, or you like to keep things lower, this is definitely going to benefit you. At the 30 watts, I didn't really see much change, though I did see some games overall did get a little bit better FPS on that driver, but we already had some pretty good frame times and frame pacing at 30. It was really that 17 watt mode that needed straightened out. They've done a ton of work to make that better. I'd still like to see an official TDP slider, or maybe a 22 watt manual option in between that 17 and 30. I think that would be pretty great, especially seeing the work that they're doing here, getting performance better, getting stability better, and smoother gameplay through frame time, frame pacing, and that kind of thing. So yeah, we'll see where things go in the future. Definitely still loving my MSI Claw 8 AI Plus. I game on it all the time. It's been a lot of fun, and I like these kind of improvements that you get after you buy the device, and they just kind of come along, and all of a sudden you get this uplift or smoother gameplay. And I hope they keep it up. I hope MSI and Intel keep the updates coming. I know there's rumor that MSI might be switching over to AMD for the next Claw, but I'm hoping that's just another queue and an extension of the device and not a replacement of Intel. But we'll see. It's going to be an exciting second half of the year for handhelds. I think there's a lot more to come. But anyways, guys, thanks a lot for coming and check out the video. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.